Yo, what's good, everybody? Welcome back to the Village Hidden Within the Streets. We are the Black Flames. My name is Bam.
And I am Dr. Griffs. Welcome back, y'all.
Yeah, man. Yo, I don't know if I should be looking forward to this discussion or not. You know, I feel like it's going to be fun to toe the line between. You know, it's one of those discussions, like you guys have saw the title. It's one of those topics that can easily go pessimistic and downhill, but we'll try our best to be balanced as much as we can about it. Dr. Griffs, the topic we're talking about today is giving up on your dreams. We kind of alluded to us talking about this topic at the end of our previous video, which was the transition to adulthood. So if you haven't seen that video, check the link in the description. Going from childhood to adulthood and then to the topic of giving up on your dreams, I feel like that other topic will give a little bit more, will set your mind in the right place to be at when we talk about this topic. But Dr. Griffs, what do you feel about the topic of giving up on your dreams?
When I was 14 or 15, I was a sophomore in high school. I went to Mali, Africa, a small village in Mali, Africa. So this isn't my experience isn't representative of all of Mali, but where I was, there was no running water, there's no electricity, and I was there to build a school through the nonprofit organization Build On, BUILDON. Phenomenal nonprofit. When I was that age, I was like, yo, I don't want to do this type of work for the rest of my life. So I was like, I can't do this work without I need some money to do this work. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure.
Volunteer work. So I was like, what if I had enough money, I didn't have to get paid? So I was like, by the time of 27, I'll be a millionaire, and by the time of 35, I'll be a billionaire. If I can make it to 27 and be a millionaire by my, at my current financial, making a million to a billion, that won't be difficult. Fast forward X amount of years.
Yes.
And 27 is around the corner for me, and I realized that that dream I had, that goal, that was like one of my singular goals throughout the last 12-ish years, is probably not going to happen. But at this age, I realized like, yo, that's okay. That was kind of unrealistic. But that goal helped push me. It helped push me. You know what I'm saying? Helped guide me on a path that got me close. Well, maybe not financially, but
yeah, it got you closer to it than you would have gotten to if you didn't have that goal in the first place. Exactly. Like, I like the word you use, push, right? Because I think maybe it's a kind of a Western thing, or maybe it's like a global thing, but the idea of like, you have to get to your dreams, right? The idea you have to get there. And I think me personally, I kind of struggled with the idea of pursuing it, because I am, like, Dr. Griffs knows this about me, but I'm a man of faith. Like, I go to church and everything, so I have the faith aspect, which is, believing in something even though there's no proof or real thing there to validate that. But then, I majored the computer side, so I'm very logical based. So I have this conflict. I used to have this conflict in my head where I would have a dream that's something lofty and crazy, that I want to pursue, that there's no way of getting there yet. But then I have the logical side of me that's like, yo, bro, how can you have this when it's like all the variables are not present there for you to have it, right? And the kind of weird thing that I kind of put in myself so that I wouldn't give up on my dream, because of that inconsistency that exists in my head, was I'm going to pursue this thing, right? And I talked to Dr. Griffs about the dream. I'm not going to tell you guys yet until I'm ready to make that thing into a reality. But my mindset about my dream now is I'm going to pursue this thing, and I'm going to die on the path to making it real. So like, it's the idea, like, it's either I made it happen or I died trying to make it happen. Does that make sense? Am I crazy?
Well, those are two different questions you're asking. I think you're crazy. Right?
Maybe I'm both. Maybe it makes sense that I'm crazy. I don't know.
Yeah. Nah, I admire your dedication to that cause. You said, I'll die on that path, make it happen. It gave me a real like anime type energy.
Yeah.
Like, now I'm saying, I won't, like, if I can't save a friend, I'm not worthy of being Hokage. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Which is not really the requirement of becoming Hokage, right? Like, I'm pretty sure the third Hokage gave up a lot of friends, you know what I mean?
Give up my Banzo for sure.
yeah, for sure. But like, you know what I thought about dreams. I was thinking about dreams as like these targets, right? And a lot of people will have these targets in mind. Like, say for example, somebody's trying to become a doctor, right? We know that's something that's what, 8 to 10 years minimum of becoming that. Like, you know, starting from college to med school, residency, you know, all that. So minimum, like, you're looking at 10 years, right? If you're going the traditional path. And so if your dream is to become a doctor, I started thinking about, okay, is a person willing to invest 10 years of their life into something they don't like because they like the dream? And I'm like, why should I have a dream that the journey to get into the dream is something that I don't like? So my dream now is more of an excuse to do the things I like doing. And like, the dream just gives me direction so I can stay on the path of doing the thing I like doing. Like, I have a dream of hitting certain numbers at the gym, and they're very like elite levels, very elite level numbers in terms of strength. So like bench press 405 pounds, deadlift like 650, squat 600. So these are elite numbers, right? These are numbers that like you're kind of the top tier in terms of strength, at least within the country.
Or, you know, I mean, I'm clearly a gym head, like, you know, bars. But for people who might not be as gym knowledgeable as me, can you explain what, like, I guess the average of, like, you said, what, 600 for squats, or
So
what the most do we get?
What's the most that an average person can get?
Yeah, like, what do you think is a good weight for most people, or the average person?
Okay, I'll say that most people, when they're based on what I've seen from like working out and researching it, I think most people would be happy and will probably stay at a bench press of 225 pounds, which is 2 plates on each side. Like, most people would be like happy to rep that out and be like, yeah, I'm strong. Squat about 315 pounds. I think people would be happy, and that's 3 plates on each side, right? And then deadlift 405 pounds, like 4 plates on each side, and that's for men. For women, I think it'll be more 1 plate each side for the average woman. I'm not talking about the Amazonian woman that, you know, wants to push herself to the limits, right? I think a woman going for 1 plate on each side for bench, 225 for squat, and then 315 for deadlift. I think the average person, at least within this country, would be pretty happy with those numbers, you know. And I've seen most people, once they hit those numbers, they kind of maintain at those numbers, and they just try to work out to look good at that point, right? For me, I don't know, I have this thing where I'm trying to be like, you know, I'm trying to be like one of the main characters in the animes and shows I watch, and I'm like,
Broly? You trying to be Broly?
You know, if that's how my body comes out to being, then maybe I need to cut a little bit. But, you know, trying to get a little bit like Goku, trying to get like my boy All Might, you know, trying to get a little bit more built. But it's more about, for me right now, it's a lot more focused on the performance of it. But getting back onto the idea of like the dream, right? I have no idea if I'm going to be able to hit those numbers. Because, like, how can I prove I can hit it? Like, I might get injury, I might get something that happens, I might hit my genetic limit where I'm just not able to do it. But because I have that dream, and because I'm doing a workout style that I actually enjoy doing, I know I'll get closer to that dream than if I didn't have that dream in the first place. Yeah. And so that's how I pursue, like, my main dream that I've told you about off camera, Dr. Griffs, is, I'm on the journey to get in there. I have no idea if I'm going to get there, right? Just like how you had no real idea if you were going to get to those financial markers you're looking at a certain age. But because you had that in your mind when you were like in your day-to-day making your decisions and like how you're going to manage your money, how you're going to do this and do that, you made those moves. I'm pretty sure that way of thinking, or that goal, like a point you made in the last video in terms of explaining like how you pursued becoming debt free, maybe that dream you had informed your decision to just go crazy in terms of just like, I shouldn't say crazy, it's like it wasn't like insane, but like going to the more extreme path of paying off your debt might have been informed by that dream you had. You're like, I can't be a philanthropist and I have debt. I don't know, but let me know what you. Yeah.
To that point, even that dream still is in my head now. I'm not 27 yet. And I'm like, well, maybe he meant by or in the age of 27. I'm trying to, retrospectively change my dream slightly.
You're trying to go back in the past. You mean like, no, what you meant to say.
Was in the age range of 27 to 35. You figure, but like, I realized that the first job I had, like, I had to spend 10 years of my life to potentially even move up a rank where that could even potentially be possible. And that wouldn't be like, when I say potentially be possible, I mean like I had to be there for about 20, 30 years. People had to leave. I had to rise through all the ranks. And then that could potentially happen. And I'm like, yo, with YouTube, like, I've seen channels grow within a year. The lead attorney, he said he's at $1,000 subscribers in January. He's now at 100,000. You know what I'm saying? Or 5,000. And now I'm not saying that's going to happen to me, but what I am saying is I feel like it's worth a shot. You know what I'm saying?
It's worth pursuing it.
I know for certainty that with my 9 to 5, I'm going from, $16 an hour to maybe 20. A good couple bonuses. You know what I'm saying? Most bonuses have been like 30 cents, 40 cents. 2% is what the average annual raise is. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think the DJing, seeing it go from like $30 an hour to hundreds of dollars an hour, I'm seeing that when you make your own income, the chances of exponentially increasing it is much higher than the typical job. Not saying not have a typical job, because you need insurance, you need all this stuff, but I'm dreaming a little. I'm still dreaming a little bit. Know what I'm saying?
You can't be a millionaire working for someone else.
No. Well, yeah, I mean, with your 401ks, your Roth IRAs and stuff like that, you could be a long-term millionaire. But the millionaires that we have envisioned, you cannot,
like the lifestyle and the ability to just,
And I think most millionaires the smart ones don't really live like that. They don't got like a Tesla for every day of the week. I think
they low key, so low key. That's honestly what, if I ever get
the same thing every day. They probably wear the same thing every day. Very low key.
Like, what was his name again? Steve Jobs. He would always wear the same black turtleneck, same blue jeans.
Yes.
Out here moving like an anime character. Oh man. But the dream thing, man. Like, I don't know if it's because of all the anime I've watched. It's just, I can't give up on it, bro. It's like, it's just locked in to me. Because you know what it also is? If you look at every person that's made it, like, the only thing consistent in their stories, is that they didn't give up. I think about, who's the, Morgan Freeman. I think about Morgan Freeman. Do you know his story about?
No, I'm not familiar with it.
So, I'm talking about Morgan Freeman. The guy with the voice that you always.
The guy himself.
Yes. Like, he started in his early 20s his acting career, but he never got into like an actual his career didn't blow up until his 50s. That's why we always remember him as like the older guy in the movies. So think about it, like he was pursuing his dream of acting for 30 years minimum with no real success.
And if I know Morgan Freeman, he's an old guy, right? Mm-hmm. So he was probably pursuing it like the civil rights movement time and everything like that. So his dream of being an actor was extremely unrealistic. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. He's not like seeing Michael B. Jordan and Morgan Freeman, Chadwick Boseman. He's not seeing all these people growing up. He's probably seeing Harry Belafonte. It's like one guy. You know what I'm saying?
Yes. So it's like you think about different stories that come up. Of course, there's some people that have achieved levels of success or achieved their dreams, and they were born with a silver spoon in their mouth. But if you listen to every story of people that achieve something, you listen to The Rock, you listen to like Will Smith, you listen to like everybody. Listen, it's just they didn't give up, and sometimes that mindset got them to their dreams in a year. Sometimes it got to their dreams in 10 years, but it got them to their dreams. Now showing empathy to people that it's crazy to me, because it feels like some people feel like they need to give up on their dreams, right? Because of different life commitments, like having a kid, or like a family member getting sick or something. So I have a lot of sympathy and empathy. I don't know what's the proper, I have a lot of feelings and appreciation for people that they have to put their dreams on hold, or have to like give it up to take care of business for the people they care about. But I don't think I think my solid opinion is that I don't think you have to give up your dreams in life.
I think sometimes you might have to postpone it. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I mean, what you said, there's definitely situations where your dream just has to change a little bit. Know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Maybe you don't perform ballet on like Broadway, but you still get to go every like Wednesday night to do some, I don't know, some ballet. I'm going to a ballet to get to practice your ballet. But
yeah.
You on a level you want to be. They say shoot for the stars, land on the moon, or whatever they say. What they say.
They say stuff like that. Yeah.
And like, I might not be a millionaire yet, but I'm debt free and I have a net positive income. So things, right? No,
yeah. There's some millionaires that are still in debt, probably.
Yes. Depending on how you define millionaire, if you say millionaire by, you have to be a net positive, but there are definitely rich people that are broke.
Yeah.
So bad.
For sure. Like it's on paper they're living that lifestyle. But no, I shouldn't say on paper. Like they're living that lifestyle, but like when you actually look at the books, it's probably not the wisest thing for them to be living that lifestyle.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I just kind of want to speak back to like dreams and giving up on them. Like I think you should be some type of realistic. For me, I am working Monday through Wednesday as of November. I think I will continue that into next year as well. Because I just want to give myself some time to dream. You know what I'm saying? Financially, I'm not going to be winning in this next season. But I do think I've been making great progress with my instrumentals, my piano. Like every day this week, I've been making a new instrumental. You might not hear all of them. You're definitely gonna hear some in the background of this video. But I feel like you should give yourself the freedom to dream, but you gotta be intentional.
Yeah, I agree. And it's also remembering that your dreams are personal. So don't expect everybody to understand your dream. because it is very personal.
That is a whole fact. I feel myself when I'm trying to explain YouTube, like I try to tell some people, like usually the older people, like, yo, I know it sounds crazy, but like this is what I kind of want to do, and they're like, like I get it.
Yeah, you get. It's like if they can't see it, like if you can't see it, and I think this is where my faith part comes in. It's like you know, there's a scripture that says you got to walk by faith, not by sight. You know, so like, and when you're pursuing your dream, you kind of have to do a little bit of that. You know, and a lot of people most people in life move based on what they see. So if they're not seeing it, like there's a lot of people, well, I shouldn't say a lot of people. There's a couple friends that, like, when I was like working out, because I was a lot skinnier, when I start working out, they would tell me like, oh yeah, you should probably shoot for this and shoot for that, and no, you're kind of going crazy trying to go for this, right? And then I hit those things and they're like, oh my gosh, that's crazy, you know. And I still have grandiose goals, right? And then people, when I tell them my goal, they'd be like, oh, like, you know, I started doing some overhead pressing, right? Like pressing with the bar. And then he says like, yo man, you're strong. Like, yo man, like, what are you trying to shoot for? It's like, well, my long-term goal is to hit XXX. And he's like, bro, what the heck? Like, why do you need to do all that? And I was like, yo, I just want to do that, you know? And there's almost like a sense of disbelief because they just can't see it, you know? But it doesn't matter if anyone else can see it, as long as you can see it. Like, if you just want it, you gotta go for it, man.
Now, the chess player in me is telling me to say, you know, be strategic, you know, think before you move. Don't if you say, yo, I want to be the first astronaut in space, or I'm trying to work for NASA, you probably can't do that if you don't hit certain prerequisites. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, exactly.
You probably can't run up on NASA's territory and think you're in Grand Theft Auto and hijack a spaceship and think you're gonna work there.
True,
you know what I'm saying?
True.
You gotta be strategic. You know, you gotta be planning a couple steps ahead and have some backup plans. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I also feel like if you're not willing to put in a work to get your dream, then you don't, in my opinion, you don't care about your dream. Or the dream is not, or it's just a want.
What does put in work mean to you?
Put in work means to me that you have a goal, a dream. You use tactics, strategy, logic to determine what needs to happen that's within your power to get there. And seeing that laid out either in your mind or on a piece of paper, and being like, all right, step one, I have to do this. I'm going to go do it. Now, if you laid it out and you have like 57 steps you got to do, and you're like, dang, this looks like a lot, is it really worth it? Then you don't really care about the dream. Like, if the dream is really your dream, in my opinion, then whatever you need to do to get there, if it's within your power, it's worth it. It's worth it. At least that's my thinking about it. Some dreams, and there's things that, like, you know, there's things that, like, if someone told me like, yo bro, you should get like you should try to be a billionaire, right? I'll be like, nah, I don't want to be a billionaire. I don't see myself ever needing or really wanting that much money or even spotlight from the world. Like, to me, if I'm hitting $1 million a year, if I'm like slapping it, that's good for me, bro. And I'm gonna be low key about it, bro. The only thing that people are gonna know about me is that me and you are doing this podcast, and I have my own YouTube channel, and I'm the boss of, you know, whatever my dream is. I'm not gonna express here, you know. That's the only thing people are gonna know about me. I'm not gonna be buying no flashy stuff. I'm not gonna be going crazy. I ain't getting no private jet. You know, I may do first class every now and then when I'm flying to a certain place, but I'm low key about it, bro. I'm gonna be low key, bro. I'm gonna be wearing like anime shirts, like low key about it.
Okay, nah, yeah, I don't know. I I think there's two things that might happen to me. Either I'll be so used to being frugal that if I have a good network, I'll still be extremely frugal. Or I might have like, you know, those small things that mean a lot. Like I ain't gonna hold you. I've been looking at your watch this whole time. So that's nice little watch. You got the, like, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like, small things that are life improvements, but they're like, they might be a little expensive. You know what I'm saying? It might not be some Beats headphones that have a giant B on it, but you know, if you look at it, like, oh, these are the nice Sony 100X Mark 5s, 10s. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So I think I could be like low key, but not low key.
Got you. Like you low key, but you're still getting yourself some nice stuff. Like you're yeah. Like I feel like if you're making guap, you know, you don't have to walk around with the the gummy headphones. Remember the gummy the earbud headphones with the wire? You don't have to walk around with that, yo. It's like you could have a little bit of quality. You could have some quality on you, yo.
Depends on where you're walking at. Depends on where you're walking through.
That's true. So you gotta be wise about that too. You know, some people be looking at you as a target when you reach certain levels, man. You know, I also feel like people are like drawn to that, man. They're drawn to people that achieve their dreams or they can see the trajectory of someone achieving their dreams, man. You can see it. Like when I first started working out, nobody was looking at me, and then results start coming up, and now people are like, yo man, how you do this? Yo man, how do you do that? What's your diet looking like? Right? When I first started doing web development and like got a job and everything, like no one was really looking at me, but then you know, I tell a couple people like, you know, what I'm making right now in terms of my job and, you know, skill sets I have, and I was like, yo bro, like what tutorials do you recommend? Yo bro, like how should I structure my resume? You know, so people are drawn to it, but I feel like most people need those results for them to commit to like following in your footsteps. But if you're pursuing a dream, you got to be comfortable with the results not being there just yet and just going for it.
I will say, I think this year has been one of the most like eye-opening years for me in terms of like trying to accomplish something on YouTube. Seeing people like mediocre tutorials and reviews. You know, Kevin Samuels, lead attorney. They're all black men, right? But what's interesting is they're all older than us. And this year for them has been one part of the most successful years for them in terms of like growth in their channel.
True.
Kevin Samuels, 52 or so. He probably went from like a couple 100,000 or like, well, I think he was around 100,000. But by this time this year, he's $500,000. You know what I'm saying? Lead attorney from 1,000 to 100,000. Mediocre tutorial reviews, he's in like the 230 range, I think. Mediocre tutorial reviews, he's 35. Lead attorney, he's 44. Kevin Samuels is like 52.
Oh, I didn't know mediocre tutorials and reviews. He was 35. Looking good for 35, yo.
35. He might be 36 now, but like he's in that range. And they're all older than us, and they're, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What's cool is at that age, they're still progressing. You know what I'm saying? And also kind of open my eyes, like, yo, maybe at 27, you don't have to have 10 million subscriber YouTube channel. I mean, that'd be dope. I ain't gonna hold you.
Yeah.
But like, it shows that, like, yo, you can still work toward your dream. Like, at 27, you don't. Well, hopefully this doesn't happen. But at 27, you don't just die. You know what I'm saying? You know, I guess at 25, I would have figured out life.
Yeah.
You know
yeah. That's what it feels like. The media and everything. Trying to tell you, like, hey, as soon as you get your diploma, you should be set. You should have figured this all out. You should be ready, capable to go. But that's not how life is.
Your job. You will, yeah, 6-figure job as soon as you graduate. By the time you turn 25, you're starting up your own company. By the time you turn 30, you have 4 kids and a mortgage and
yeah.
Life doesn't have to be that way. You know what I'm saying? Life probably won't be that way.
And you gotta be humble too about it. I feel like we're coming to that time, so we should get to our closing thoughts and points. But I feel like you gotta be humble about it. Like, you gotta realize that there's a lot of things in life that are just out of your control. A lot of things in your, like, if one of your goals is to like be married and have 2.5 kids by this time, is like, hey, somebody's got to agree to marry you, right? Like,
fair.
And sometimes there might be fertility issues. You don't know. There might be things that just like are in variables that are out of your control. So you got to have a certain level of, it's okay to have the dreams and the goals, but like, give some wiggle room for like life. Yeah. But yeah, guys, that's my thoughts. What about you? Any closing thoughts you want to share with our peoples, Dr. Griffs?
Yeah, I think it is healthy to realize when you've done all you could to accomplish what you're trying to do. And sometimes you just gotta make a pivot. And that's okay.
That's okay. Well, guys, we appreciate you guys taking the time to engage in our content and watch another video from us. We appreciate you guys taking a visit to the Village Hidden Within Screens, and we hope you decide to, apply for your membership here. Come through, live at the village, climb through the ranks, get your headbands and everything, Maybe in the future we'll have merch, and we'll have like a headband as merch, just like the Village Hidden Within Screens. Maybe. Yeah.
Not an idea.
Yeah, it could be. All right, guys. So, like the video if you liked it. Comment if you have any thoughts you want to share. Comment if you have any dreams that you're trying to pursue, and you feel like life has been in your way about it. Or like, comment if you've had dreams you pursued, you've given up on them because of XX and whatever reason. Like, we're not here to judge about it. We're just here to share our perspectives based on how we lived life so far. And subscribe if you want to see more. And we look forward to talking and engaging with you guys. Anything else you want to say, Doctor?
Till next time.
Till next time. Peace.